Come, Holy Spirit, calm us, guide us, minister to our soul, and grant a word from you to us in this moment of reflection on the word that you have inspired us, as we come now to reflect for a few days on the mystery of our being and our own ministry. Ask the Blessed Lady to help us, to guide us through her own prayer, and our guardian angels to obtain for us the grace of being open to the divine word. We have in the Apocalypse an echo of an invitation given centuries earlier to Ezekiel to take a scroll and to eat it. We find it in the 10th chapter of the Apocalypse, verse 8. Then I heard the voice I had heard from heaven speaking to me again. Go, it said, and take that open scroll from the hand of the angel standing on sea and land. I went to the angel and asked him to give me the small scroll, and he said, take it and eat it. It will turn your stomach sour, but it will taste as sweet as honey. People used scrolls. Over the centuries it evolved. We have the codices, and now we have our present books. And now we've evolved even further, and we have virtual books on screen. And much of our reading now actually takes place on screen. The word has power. Any word has power. When one thinks actually of the influence of words of others, or even of books, or even now of videos and YouTubes on ourselves, we are still amazed at how a Flatus Vocis or a blob of ink can orientate time, for better or for worse. Indeed, texts now can orientate married couples or unmarried couples, and unfortunately young people are too ashamed to say things face to face at times, and they are able now to end a relationship with one brutal text without seeing the face at the other end. And texts are actually a bit dangerous because one doesn't hear the tone of voice, and texts can be taken not as they were meant to be. So we need to be aware of the limitations of modern communication. Nothing can really replace an eye-to-eye conversation. Conversare means both ways, of course. But it also applies to our God. We are handicapped as regards the word because we're not made to take in so many. Our brain was not made for it. And so, even in our relationship with Him, we're handicapped. And this moment is a kairos where He can actually have our full attention. Let's give it. We have a great gift for the Church in our day. Cardinal Robert Sarah, where I understand was sitting where I'm sitting right now some months ago, a man of God, and who is, in his word, influencing thousands of holy souls throughout the Catholic Church and beyond. Our world, he tells us, no longer hears God, because it is constantly speaking at a devastating speed and volume in order to say nothing. Modern civilization does not know how to be quiet. It holds forth in an unending monologue. Postmodern society rejects the past and looks at the present as a cheap consumer object. I make a parenthesis. It cancels it by blocking out boredom. It's easily done. Pull out the gadget from your pocket, so it doesn't feel time passing. I close that parenthesis. It pictures the future in terms of an almost obsessive progress. Its dream, which has become a sad reality, would have been to lock silence away in a damp, dark dungeon. Thus, there is a dictatorship of speech, a dictatorship of verbal emphasis. I open a parenthesis. The mode of talk on modern radio, particularly the light sort of radio, is an artificially happy one, which mirrors badly real life. In this theatre of shadows, he goes on, nothing is left but a purulent wound of mechanical words, without perspective, without truth, and without foundation. Quite often, truth, in inverted commas, is nothing more than the pure and misleading creation of the media, corroborated by fabricated images and testimonies. We've seen that in Ireland. Referendum of referendum, very well manipulated. When that happens, the Word of God fades away, inaccessible and inaudible. Post-modernity is an ongoing offense and aggression against the divine silence. From morning to evening, from evening to morning, silence no longer has any place at all. The noise tries to prevent God himself from speaking. In this hell of noise, man disintegrates and is lost. He is broken up into countless worries, fantasies, and fears. In order to get out of these depressing tunnels, he desperately awaits noise, so that it will bring him a few consolations. Noise is a deceptive, addictive, and false tranquilizer. The tragedy of our world is never better summed up than in the fury of senseless noise that stubbornly hates silence. This age detests the things that silence brings us to: encounter, wonder, and kneeling before God. La théologie se fait à genoux theology is done on one's knees. We have also been contaminated in our encounter with the Silent One in our liturgy. It's more of the same thing. Look at the itch of many a celebrant to block out at all costs sacred silence. How many celebrants give a moment of examination of conscience? Many multiply the words at the beginning, penitential rite, and have no silence then. Go straight into the Confiteor or whatever. And on it goes throughout the liturgy, if we're honest, quite often. Illness, even in the things of God. It's only one generation, at the most two, that this has so much damaged our human society. Go back to the great Newman. You can actually see how his room was in the Birmingham Oratory. Books and papers, no screens, no telephone in the room. But the word was thought. Every letter he wrote, he also wrote again for himself. So he had all his epistolary. Words had an effect on people, and his preaching too. Words, if they're to have an effect, must come from a certain depth. Cor ad cor loquitur. Superficial words have a superficial effect. Words from a depth of interiority penetrate any other available interiority. And therefore the word that we give must be heard, first of all, by ourselves. God does not bless lies. Newman has this to say about the mystery of encounter with the Silent One. To possess you, O lover of souls, is happiness, and the only happiness of the immortal soul. To enjoy the sight of you is the only happiness of eternity. At present, I might amuse and sustain myself with the vanities of sense and time, but they will not last forever. We shall be stripped of them when we pass out of this world. All shadows will one day be gone. And what shall I do then? There will be nothing left to me but the Almighty God. If I cannot take pleasure in the thought of him, there is no one else then to take pleasure in. God and my soul will be the only two beings left in the whole world, as far as I am concerned. He will be all in all, whether I wish it or not. What a strait I shall then be in if I do not love him, and there is then nothing else to love. If I feel averse to him, and he is then ever looking upon me. That is the truth of the soul, nuda cruda, 1 second after it gets rid of all possible distraction by coming out of the envelope of the body. There, it's alone. It answers alone. It carries what it has. And if it's never lived inside itself or met itself, meagre is its baggage to face all eternity with. And so in retreat, we anticipate that moment and ask the Lord for a word. The mechanical notion of listening is actually twofold. A good listener to God, ipso facto, is a good picker-up of vibes. A good listener is a good listener all round. Why? He's humble and on the receiving end. As with God, as in liturgy, if we're emitting, we're not receiving. So too, in contemplation, we tend to extend that contemplation to the person that Providence puts before us. And so it is asked for this double grace in this retreat: complete receptivity to God and to the soul before us. It will make a difference. Listening is like a muscle. The more we develop and train, the stronger our listening skills will become, and the more effective we'll become as listeners. This American author, her name is Becky Harling, has written a whole volume on the question: how to listen so people will talk. And she has a whole teaching about how much illusion there is in the average soul regarding its capacity to listen. And so gives in a volume a whole teaching which enables us to catch certain techniques which will plasm and form our ability to be open to the unexpected and not to intrude. Jesus not only wants to transform your listening skills, she says, but also to use you to make an impact on the lives you intersect with on a daily basis. You have all that you need to do this: ears and an open